Hi everyone, Alex here, a Python developer from Pynest. Welcome back to our channel where we dive into real-life developer stories and uncover the secrets behind creating automated solutions. Glad to have you with us for another exciting episode. Almost all of us have used an app that instantly processes payments like Stripe or send messages to a favorite platform like Slack with just a few clicks. But have you ever wondered how this seamless integration happened? It's all thanks to a key development principle, the API-first approach. Major companies like Memphis, GitHub, and Twilio built massive ecosystems that scale globally and operate smoothly anywhere in the world, all powered by this API-first mindset. But why is the API-first approach so crucial? It's simple. Because APIs are the backbone of modern applications. They allow flexible, scalable solutions that adapt to evolving business needs. Without this approach, it would be difficult to meet the speed and reliability users expect today. And today we are going to explore how the API-first approach works and why it's quickly becoming the go-to standard for modern app development. We'll break down how this method helps to create scalable, flexible application, and we won't stop just at the backend. In this video, we'll cover the entire development process from design to client integration, so you can see firsthand how API-first operates in the real world. Let's dive in. First of all, let's start with the common code-first API development approach and its risks. Understanding its limitation highlights why API-first is a more robust alternative. Let's break it down. Imagine a startup racing to launch a new product in a competitive market. Time is everything, so the team opts for a code-first approach. Instead of spending weeks carefully designing the API, they jump straight into writing code. I saw this firsthand in a Fintech startup I worked with. We built the initial version of the payment system that way, evolving the API as we added new features. This allowed the startup to test ideas quickly and attract users, helping them stay agile in the early stages. Another great example is the development of a mobile app. The team wanted to launch a minimal viable product as fast as possible. In this case, the code-first approach allowed the developers to dive straight into building the backend and committing the client app, skipping the lengthy process of detailed API design. This speed helps them get the product to market quickly, which is often key for startups' time to make an impact early on. In the code-first approach, developers jump straight into writing code after receiving business requirements. The biggest advantage here is speed. It allows the team to start development immediately and get the product out the door faster. This is particularly helpful when the goal is to test a business idea quickly or launch an internal tool. For projects where rapid iteration is the key, code-first can be a real game changer. Despite its speed, the code-first approach has drawbacks. Risk of misalignment with business needs due to lack of design, integration delays and backtracking from poor coordination, and usability issues, making future integration harder. While the code-first approach can help launch a product quickly, it often results in additional cost for bug fixes and rework at later stages of development. Now that we've examined the code-first approach and identified its shortcomings, let's shift our focus to a more modern and strategically sound method, the API-first approach. This approach not only enhances the development process, but also lays a solid foundation for long-term success. Let's dive in. The API-first approach allows careful planning of the API design, data, and interaction, ensuring smooth collaboration among all stakeholders. This proactive approach helps to avoid integration issues and set teams up for success. Let's take a moment to explore how the API-first approach works along with its advantages and disadvantages. The core principle of API-first is to develop a detailed API specification before writing any code. The specification serves as a single source of truth, enabling all teams to collaborate synchronously and independently. Front-end developers, testers, and even support team can tick off. Their work is based on the API specification without having to wait the complete backend implementation. This leads a more efficient workflow and helps to prevent bottlenecks down the line. Moreover, the API-first approach boosts flexibility and scalability. For example, Slack's API-focused design allows seamless integration of bots and third-party services, enabling rapid feature updates without disrupting functionality. But if separating the API from client application, either web, mobile, or desktop, Slack was able to rapidly evolve its product by introducing new features without disrupting core functionality. Meanwhile, it also provided external developers with easy-to-use interface, driving ecosystem growth. The API-first approach prioritizes both technical implementation and user experience, ensuring smooth integration and performance. By treating the API as a strategic asset, companies can drive growth, scale effectively, and unlock new market opportunities. Let's consider the example of Memphis, which actively employs the API-first approach to develop its microservice architecture. This case perfectly illustrates both the advantages and disadvantages of this approach. Advantages of API-first approach: risk reduction. Netflix's API-first approach minimizes integration issues between microservices. APIs are designed and tested before development, ensuring effective communication without conflicts. This strategy enables global expansion and consistent content availability for millions, reducing disruption and enhancing user experience. Increased flexibility. Netflix continuously enhances its platform by adding new features that cater to the evolving demands of users and partners. For instance, they have rolled out personalized recommendation, multi-user viewing modes like watch party or offline viewing options, and innovative ways to interact with content, including interactive shows and movies. Thanks to the API-first architecture, Netflix can connect new devices such as smart TVs, mobile platforms, and game consoles, and of course integrate its third-party services like voice assistant, for instance, Alexa, without the need to overhaul their foundational infrastructure. This flexibility allows Netflix to stay ahead of trends and consistently deliver an engaging user experience. Improved developer experience. The API-first approach significantly enhances the experience for both Netflix internal teams and external developers. With clear API documentation and specification, third-party developers can easily create new client-side integrations, enabling them to deliver customized experience across various devices. As a result, it fosters innovation and encourages collaboration, ultimately contributing to a rich ecosystem of applications and services that enhance the overall user experience. Development speed. Designing the API early allows simultaneous work on client application and server logic, accelerating feature implementation and updates. This efficiency helps Netflix to stay agile and ensures timely enhancement for users. Disadvantages of API-first approach. Design time. The API-first approach requires significant time during the design phase. Netflix must plan thoroughly before coding, which can extend launch timelines for new features, especially when developing microservices or integrating with new partners. While this thoroughness is beneficial, it can delay the rollout of new features. Managing specification. With thousands of microservices, Netflix struggles to keep API specifications current. Changes or additions require careful documentational updates, which can create bottlenecks. Inconsistencies may arise in things rely on outdated specification, impacting development efficiency. Dependency on communication. The API-first approach fosters collaboration but creates dependencies that can introduce delays. Adjustments based on feedback can hinder the progress of the teams relying on the API. Such interdependence requires close coordination to prevent confusion and misunderstanding. In summary, while the API-first approach has transformed how modern applications are developed and integrated, it's essential to understand both its benefits and challenges. If the API-first approach is implemented thoughtfully, it provides a robust framework for creating scalable, flexible, and user-centric solutions. However, like any approach, it requires careful planning and ongoing communication among teams to fully leverage its advantages and mitigate potential drawbacks. By aligning API design with broader business goals, organizations can unlock new opportunities, foster innovation, and create a seamless user experience. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video and want to share more about practical developer stories, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Let's explore the exciting world of software development together.